Don't worry, I wouldn't blame you if you believed that there was a major airshow taking place just based off what I've been covering in recent days. But no, there's not. It's just the aircraft orders are coming in full force as we round out the 2023 calendar year. And today, that doesn't change in the latest industry recap, with coverage on a new order from the Lufthansa Group, ITA Airways announcing expansion, and some developments at Norse Atlantic. But beginning with what I'd argue is the headline story, that is Lufthansa Group announcing what it describes as a landmark order for the Boeing 737 MAX, which will upgrade its single-aisle fleet. Up to 100 737 MAXs have been included in the deal. It is comprised of 40 firm and 60 options for the middle ground 737-8. However, a deal of this magnitude obviously extends just beyond the order, with this being the first time the Lufthansa Group has committed to the 737 in multiple decades. The Lufthansa Group actually welcomed their last 737-300 delivery almost 2 decades ago in 1995. From this point, the group has really transitioned towards the A320 family for its single-aisle operations. Interestingly, Lufthansa's relationship with the Boeing 737 dates back further than its last delivery in 1995. The airline actually launched the Boeing 737 back in 1967. Ultimately, it would retire the final 737 in its operations by 2016 as it moved towards a more modern fleet. But the 737, maybe well forgotten in this day and age, has played a huge role in developing the Lufthansa Group. In a release, they say that the 737 MAXs will be deployed across several airlines. However, Lufthansa, which includes their City Airlines division and Swiss, already have aircraft on order that notably include the A320neo family and A220. As a result, these newly ordered 737 MAX jets will be deployed elsewhere. Lufthansa Group says a decision on where they will head will come later as a thorough study and evaluation occurs. Deliveries are expected to commence in the third quarter of 2027 and will be steadily delivered over time. Additionally, the group says the 737-8 will be configured with 190 seats spread across business class and economy. Lufthansa Group's new deal for the 737 MAX really underpins a significant shift towards the next generation aircraft. Yes, from Boeing, but also from Airbus, in a bid to reduce emissions. Key executives say that by adding the 737 MAX, they will be able to pursue a long-term fleet strategy that is beneficial and also focuses on cost efficiency. Compared to the previous models operated by the Lufthansa Group, these next generation 737 MAX and A320neo aircraft will hugely benefit day-to-day operations across future decades. And an order for the 737 MAX continues the long-standing success that this series has had within the market. While there was a blip in the road, it has rebounded absolutely massively and probably exceeding many people's expectations. But production will continue to ramp up, deliveries will keep going, and orders are not stopping, which is a fantastic problem for Boeing to find themselves in. On to the next story, that sits with ITA Airways, announcing that they will be expanding their own operations towards London in the United Kingdom from 2024. The Italian carrier that replaced Alitalia not too long ago is introducing a new non-stop flight between Rome and London City Airport from April 1st, 2024. The airline says that the A220-100 will operate 12 weekly frequencies. This newly delivered aircraft naturally makes the route possible. ITA is launching this route to ensure that connections between Italy and the United Kingdom remain ever present. Additionally, ITA has witnessed significant demand across both leisure and business customers for travel between Rome and London, so the launch will address subsequently these demand levels. While the newly announced Rome and London City service definitely headlines their latest announcement, the airline is continuing its expansion efforts. ITA says it has opened sales for an additional frequency between Milan and London City. As a result of this extra flight, ITA will soon serve 5 flights per week, set to commence on the 10th of April 2024. Just for the summer season, ITA's commitment to London grows, with in the end weekly frequencies reaching 31 between Milan and London. similar to the aforementioned Rome service, this will be operated by the A220-100. ITA actually has heavily relied on the A220, with the Dash 100 arriving in November. This series represents a continued move towards modern, fuel-efficient aircraft types. During the delivery phase of this aircraft, the first unit completed an 8-hour flight between Montreal and Rome. Following a brief familiarization period, the aircraft then entered scheduled passenger operations. The A220 is very popular for airlines that are seeking, say, an efficient single-aisle aircraft with capacity that is lower than the A320neo or 737 MAX, all the while still operating with a plane that brings in maximum levels of efficiency to the respective customer. And for ITA, as they fly both variants, the pair work in harmony to cater to the airline's day-to-day needs across its network. On to the final story of today, that sits with Norse Atlantic Airways, who have officially launched in recent days their Berlin to Miami flight as part of a bit of a strategy shift that focuses on more warm weather destinations during this winter. The airline will operate the route from Berlin on Fridays, with departure in the afternoon and arrival in the evening. Norse celebrated the route announcement with a ceremony that was attended by key executives. Norse does promote these low-cost fares, which including taxes begin at USD 255 one way. However, it's important to note that Norse's business model is around offering low-cost fares, but the company makes a substantial amount of money through add-ons that go on top of that initial ticket price. For customers, this could include checked luggage, seat allocation, meal service, early boarding, among other amenities that full-service carriers would include, but at a more premium price. This winter season, the debut of Miami will join New York JFK as the two cities served from Berlin towards the US. There is, though, a very visible shift towards warm weather destinations this winter, and that is more than evident through service to the Caribbean and expansion most recently to the east part of Asia, which is Bangkok. For low-cost carriers, sustaining good financial performance on long-haul routes can be challenging at the best of times, but many would argue that for a company like Norse Atlantic, which relies heavily on seasonal traffic, the winter period is always a bit bleak. As a result, the company is using this winter season to shift its strategy and routes to continue chasing profits and sustained success. Really, you could make the assumption that they're trying to find something that sticks during what is typically a tough period for them. Norse emerged as a new carrier to the market only in recent years. This was following Norwegian's removal of transatlantic routes and the 787 Dreamliner. Norse now operates exclusively with the Boeing 787 on routes across the world. That's going to conclude today's aviation news recap. But remember, I did indeed say that there was a lot of orders to cover, and there's been many. So make sure you're staying tuned in the coming days, as there is going to be a lot to cover as we roll into Christmas and the new year. Thank you so much for your support. As always, I appreciate you giving me 8 to 9 minutes of your day and tuning in, or even if you don't make it this far in the video, then technically you wouldn't be seeing this, but you know what I mean. I just genuinely appreciate the support and time you give me in your busy schedules. Thanks a lot. Please take care, do also be safe, and I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, for your latest industry recap.